kızı.
There are no rules but one. Drink Jägermeister at minus 18 degrees Celsius.
To me, one of the bigger surprises, though, was when we found the Albertasaurus bone bed in Alberta. And the Albertasaurus bone bed, Albertasaurus, of course, is a close relative of the Tyrannosaurus. It is a Tyrannosaur. It's a close relative of Tyrannosaurus rex. And we'd always assumed that these animals were solitary animals simply because we only find the specimens one at a time. They're quite rare. They only make up about 5 to 10% of the population. And so when you only find them one at a time, your assumption is that they all lived alone. And then the Albertasaurus bone bed came up. And it was actually a bone bed found by Barnum Brown back in 1910 when he was working in Alberta. And almost certainly he recognized the significance of the fact that he had found 8 skeletons, parts of 8 skeletons of Albertasaurus in exactly the same place. Because he collected only parts of the skeletons, and the parts that he collected were mostly left feet. And what he was doing, I think, was collecting enough material to give him an individual count. How many individuals had he found? And the trouble was that back then, of course, there was no way of accurately pinpointing where you find these things. Yes, it was in the Badlands of Alberta, but where in the Badlands of Alberta? It's like looking for a needle in a haystack to find these things unless you've got photographs. Photographs were expensive to do at that time. They're all done on glass-mounted slides. And so there weren't many photographs. And in the end, there were only 2 photographs that allowed us to re-find the site, finally, in 1997. And when we re-found the site, the guess was right that Barnum Brown had recognized what he was finding, that it was evidence of a pack of Albertasaurus that died together. And they died together because they, in fact, were living together. And Brown hadn't excavated the whole site. He only had 3 weeks, and his tools were very poor. He had only 2 other people helping him. So we felt that if we could refine the site, which we looked for, and as I said, 1997, then we would maybe find more bones. And sure enough, we were able to take the number of individuals from the 8 that Brown had found up to more than 20. Now, 20 carnivorous dinosaurs in one single place with very little evidence of any herbivorous dinosaurs, no evidence of feeding behavior, and so on, just suddenly changes everything. So we had evidence now that the carnivorous dinosaurs, at times at least, formed packs, and the packs were probably hunting the big herds of dinosaurs that were passing through Alberta at the time. The herds of thousands of horned dinosaurs and thousands of duck-billed dinosaurs. And the only way carnivores can feed on those things, well, I guess there's more than one way. They could follow the herds from behind and then wait for animals to die. But it's not a very efficient way of doing things, and it doesn't usually work. It works sometimes, but obviously you're not going to be able to feed a pack of 20 or more Tyrannosaurs if, in fact, you're just waiting for animals to die. More likely what was happening is the Tyrannosaurs formed packs when the big herds of ceratopsians and hadrosaurs were moving through the region, and they would use those packs of meat-eating dinosaurs to break up those herds so that they can, in fact, chase something out and kill it and eat the same way lions do. And this was a very surprising idea to me at the time. Of course, it also proved to be controversial for a while. I think it's less controversial now because we, in fact, have not just the Albertasaurus bone bed, but we have a number of other sites where carnivorous dinosaurs appear to have been moving in packs and died en masse together from some kind of natural catastrophe. and left their remains, showing us that they were also packing animals with some kind of social behavior.
We stay genuine, uncensored and unscripted, and we always will, as we have to order our usual. Share us and subscribe us, and stay tuned until the next Wednesday. Ikuzo!